think I will start in high school because I graduated when I was 17 years old. And the next year I had to give my name and address for the draft. And I started working as a machinist, and each day when I came home I sat down to dinner and I put on the radio because President Roosevelt was announcing each day all the numbers were chosen for that day, and they would be, they had to sign up the next day. And it went on for 2 or 3 years before they called my number. And it was in 1942, I guess it was. I was still working as a machinist, and I flipped on the radio, and he called 5 numbers, and in the middle of those numbers was 358, and that was my number. And I said to my mother, I said, I'm going to go tomorrow to join the Army Air Corps, because I said, I don't want to walk across Germany in the mud. So, the next day I went to 10 Commonwealth Avenue in Boston, Massachusetts, and I signed up for the Army Air Corps. They gave me a test, which was primarily English and mathematics, and I passed that. And then they told me to come back. I think it was the following Tuesday, something like that. And they gave me a physical exam, and they shot me with those 4 or 5 giant needles. They were like, oh God, they were like a 1/4 inch. People were fainting. Big guys were fainting. Small guys like me didn't faint. So I passed the physical. And then I expected them to call me right away to active duty. It didn't work out that way because they didn't have enough airplanes to deal with all the people who had signed up to be in the Army Air Corps. They called me the following January, which was 1943. Yeah, 43. And they told me to get on the train and go to Nashville, Tennessee. And when I got there, they said there was a large building. It was the classification place where you did 3 days of tests. And then they decided from those tests which school they would send you to. And they called me in and they said, we're sending you to navigation school. And I said to them, well, I joined to be a pilot. And they answered, well, you've taken a lot of mathematics, I can see it here in your transcript, and we know you can pass navigation. We don't know if you can pass pilot training.